Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Embodied Living. In this episode, number 5, we are talking about some big stuff. And this is going to be our inner wounds, those things that can start when we're young and we don't even realize it. The kind that shape who we choose, how we show up, and the ways we bend over backwards trying to prove our worth instead of just owning it. So let's dive in. So, you know, I never thought I'd say this out loud, but my divorce, best thing that ever happened to me. Anybody else feel that way? Now, did I feel that way at the time? Hell no. I was raised that you work everything out. You keep working, you keep doing this. But he asked for the divorce, and I was hurt. I was angry, resentful, bitter. Oh my God, so bitter. If I had an emotion, you just pick it, guarantee you I had it. And it was like a toxic emotional charcuterie board. I remember thinking, how dare he leave me after everything I gave? The audacity to ask me for that. But the truth, I was miserable in that marriage. Nothing I did was enough. He always found something wrong, and I just felt like I gave that man all of me, only to be thrown out like yesterday's takeout. At least that's how it felt. And here's the plot twist, worthy of a cheap reality show. I didn't know it at the time. He was seeing someone else. I had a feeling. There were so many signs. But I believed in trusting my partner. So if I said, hey, who are you out with? And he said, a friend. And I said, what friend? And he said, a friend. I just was like, okay, he was out with a friend. It wasn't until 4 years later that my daughter found out he and his now wife were together before he even asked for divorce. And I want to be honest here because this is embodied living and we do not fake anything around here. I hate to admit this, but during that time, I went a little emotional crazy. Now, I just thought it was a couple times. Like, I was like, oh, it's no big deal. You know, I dealt with it. But let's be real. It was more like a couple really long moments. My kids saw me unravel. My mom saw me fall apart. I was screaming, crying, feeling every fucking feeling all at once. And at times, I felt like I was hanging on by a thread. And you know what? I'm not ashamed of it anymore because that is what heartbreak looks like when your whole identity has been wrapped up in trying to keep a failing marriage alive. And let's be honest again, right? It wasn't just about my ex. These patterns started way before him. See, my biological father, or as my mom liked to call him, the sperm donor, he wasn't around. My grandmother, who literally never spoke badly about anyone, told me he was not a good man. And my mom didn't say much about him at all until I was an adult. When I met him at 18, he confirmed that, yes, he is an asshole. So naturally, what do I keep doing? I kept picking men who treated me like shit. Men who told me I had no worth, no value. All stemming from a man who wasn't even in my life, who I confirmed was an asshole. And yet I still kept doing this. And the truth is, these other people, these other men, they're just projecting their own lack on me. And yet I let it happen. And here's what I want you to really hear today, because it took me years to finally believe this. You matter. You have value simply because you exist. Do not let anyone project their own shit onto you. For so long, I tried to prove my worth. And when you're addicted to proving yourself, you keep attracting people who make you feel like you have something to prove. I had a friend once tell me that givers need to be with givers, because takers will take everything from you. And as givers, we are consistently trying to prove ourselves to those takers, waiting to receive, waiting to get something back. We aren't going to get it. So remember, givers should be with givers. And to get back to what I was saying, I picked men who devalued me so I could work on myself to the bone. Always trying to show these men, see, I'm amazing. I matter. Look at all I've done. Do you see me? Consistently with takers just wanting to be seen. But takers don't do that, do they? And let's just say inner wounds, they weren't just about the men. I wanted so badly to be seen, heard, loved. And when it didn't happen, I morphed into whoever I thought people wanted me to be. Not that it ever lasted long, because that true personality of mine would always come through. But I did this with family, with friends, men. There were very few people I felt safe enough to truly be myself with. I was always trying to prove my worth. And here's the kicker, to the wrong people. The wrong people. So, of course, my divorce blew my life up in Technicolor. It forced me to ask myself, who am I really? Who do I want to be? Why was I letting people treat me so poorly? Why was I trying to impress people who were just projecting their pain onto me? What was keeping me from healing and creating the life I actually wanted? And the little voice in my head whispered, girl, you are in your 40s. You missed your 20s, your 30s raising your kids. How the hell do you think you're going to start over now? You don't have anything on your resume. You weren't working. You stayed home. While your husband went back to school, got the degrees, made a great career. How the hell do you start over now? So here I was, a stay-at-home mom trying to rebuild my life at this point, wondering who was going to hire me, who would care about my gifts. I felt like I had so many skills, but nothing to show for it on a resume. But through my healing journey, I realized my gifts are helping others, teaching, coaching, supporting, and especially helping other women, because we've been silent for far too long. Through my experiences and knowledge on healing, I could now help other women shift and transform into the women or woman she wanted to be. The woman she is, but is hiding. And we forget that our beautiful feminine energy can flow right alongside our masculine. That's our gift as a woman, right? We can flow through anything. We move in ways men can't because we don't carry the same wounds they've carried for generations. And yes, women, men have wounds, and that is why they often respond the way they do. But don't worry, I'm going to go and rant on that one in a future episode. So stay tuned for that one. But for now, let me just say this. We have permission to be both masculine and feminine. So here is a song, I Am Woman by Emmy Melly. And yes, I would absolutely add this one to your Spotify queue, ladies. I love this one so much. And if you join my Embodied Living Facebook group, I already have this one on my Fix Your Crown Spotify list. So I want to take a moment and have us look at these lyrics. I am woman. I'm fearless. I'm sexy. I'm divine. I'm unbeatable. I'm creative. Honey, you can get in line. I'm feminine. I'm masculine. I am anything I want. I can teach you. I can love you if you got it going on. How's that sit with you? To know that you can be anything you want. We can work together with these things, right? We can love each other. We can teach each other. God, I just love that. So let me speak just a teensy bit about my partner now. He came at me as a total surprise. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was just honest. I answered his questions truthfully, and I only reached out because I needed help with something. And he started asking me about who I was. I asked him about who he was. And our conversations were just so easy, and we just never stopped talking. He saw me. I felt like the first person to see me. He listened. I listened. We just clicked. So if you're listening to this and thinking, it's too late for me, I'm too old to start over, no one will love me as I am, I've been there. Okay. These are the lies that our wounds, these inner wounds are telling us. They're whispering in our ears. Nope, too late for you. Oh, you're too old. You can't start over now. No one will love you as you are. And we go back to our past and we say, see, here's all the proof. This is what has happened to me in the past. Therefore, I have proof now. But you don't. These are lies that your wounds are telling you. You are never too old, too broken, or too far gone to create the life and the love that you truly want. Healing your inner wounds isn't about erasing your past. It's about finally choosing you. And you, my beautiful friend, are worth choosing. So, until next time, keep flowing, keep shining, and remember, you matter just because you exist.